sell my town. My town.
Hello, welcome back to Connecting Clarkston. This is season 3, episode 10. And today, Katie and I are welcoming a repeat guest who we love. She's not only a fantastic tennis player, but she's also a powerhouse in the golf tournament sphere and is the director of the Ally Challenge presented by McLaren. Yes. So we're here to talk all about the Ally Challenge, which Katie and I have a lot of experience with from last year.
Mostly Ann.
I did have a little thing where I got to do the par 3 challenge last year.
The only female representative.
It was amazing.
So I was very proud of you.
I am hoping
way to
we can pull a clip of that.
Yes, I did represent the whole gender. I'm sorry I let us all down, women. I did not win that par 3 challenge. However, a fantastic event. We went to the concert last year. The way it's all set up is really fun. So we're here to talk about 2025 and what we can expect. So should we start off with just the fun bits about the musical guests? Because I know people that's top of mind.
They number one question we get.
It is.
Right.
It must
not
be.
Who's playing, but who's playing.
Who cares about the golf?
Yeah. Who's playing golf? Who's playing concert?
It does feel like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So
well,
tell us all about
thank you, ladies, for having me back. I love the Connecting Clarkston podcast. Get my emails, get my updates, and of course, I live and raise my kids here. So big fan of Clarkston. We are super excited. I was going to say, Clarkston has always been a huge supporter of the tournament, but we're just down the road from what used to be the home, of course, of the Buick Open for 5 decades. Yeah. And when that kind of went away, I think, this North Oakland, South Genesee County really lost a gem in what was a very powerful sports entertainment event for the region. So Ally Challenge, presented by McLaren, is going to enter into its 8th year and really fills a great opportunity niche in our community. It brings together music, sports, community, family, and really all for the benefit of charity. We're at $8.4 million and climbing toward our give back, averaging about $1 million plus each year in charity proceeds, donations, contributions, operational expense, all going to 501c3 nonprofits in Southeast Michigan. So really good, feel good.
I feel like we need applause track after that. That's amazing. That is fantastic for the community. I mean, everybody can benefit from going to the concerts and seeing the professional golfers and the whole thing, but it's really cool that you're giving back that way.
And I think our individuals nowadays are so philanthropic minded, and where you're putting your money and what it's going toward, and are you part of the greater good while still enjoying yourself and living a good life. So I feel like this checks all the boxes. But to go to your original question, the musical acts, people all year, especially as the grass starts to turn green, which took a while this year, and we get ready for summer, people are always saying, okay, we know you're going to have great golf, the legends of the game, we know they're coming, but who's the big concert on Saturday night? So we announced in May, Sam Hunt, who most people know, Body Like a Back Road, was on the charts forever. It was a #1 single, had over 1 billion streams, insane amount of time. But I'm sure people know a ton of Sam Hunt songs, House Party, Kinfolk, Breakup in the 90s. There's a lot of great hits out there, but he is going to be joined, last week we announced, by Dustin Lynch.
Very cool.
And for music fans out there, it's kind of like having 2 headliners. Dustin Lynch is a very accomplished singer-songwriter, been on the country music scene for a long time. Thinking About You was a hit, Small Town Boy. Think About You, Chevrolet was a collaboration with Jelly Roll. He's done some great music out there, very popular artist. And the 2 of them are pretty easy on the eyes, so people might enjoy that part of the concert as well.
It's such an interesting place to see a concert too. It's very cool. Yeah.
There's, we're lucky to have Pine Knob, of course, in our backyard, right? Which is great, but it's a music venue. It's an amphitheater. When you're standing on a driving range of a golf course, smack in the middle of a community in a neighborhood, it's very cool. Yeah. And the setting is unique. It's so approachable, so friendly. There's not a bad seat in the house. And last year we had record-breaking crowds. We actually beat a sold-out Pine Knob show, which was really fun to kind of see the crowds roll in. And the best part about Saturday is when you buy a ticket, you're getting golf all day. Kids 17 and under are free with a ticketed adult. So parents can come out, their kids, their teenagers are completely free. And then you get the concert that night. So it's like you've got this whole day, sports, golf, the celebrity challenge, and then the Ally community concert that night. So it's a really great value.
The first time that I've ever gone was last year when Ann and I went, and there was so much going on in addition. Like even just with the DTE area where you could walk through, and I don't know, it's just a very cool event to have so close.
The sponsor activations, the fan zone. We do for the 17th hole is like the signature par 3 shot. For every birdie a pro hits, we do $2 birdie beers for Miller. So we say, birdie time is Miller time, and people are racking up the Miller Lite cans. But just great fun going on. Things for the family to do. There's there's a lot, and we really pride ourselves in that activation and make sure that it's both a great platform for our partners, but it's most of all a great engagement for the fans out there.
Who are some of the golfers that we should keep our eyes on?
Well, we're just getting ready to announce it. Actually, our defending champion is coming back. You guys are getting a little scoop before we put it in the press. But we had a great champion in Stuart Sink. Ironically, Stuart Sink just became eligible for the Champions Tour. You have to be 50 or older to play the Champions Tour. And it was his first kind of run dabbling in a few Champions Tour events, and we were his first win on the tour, which is awesome. So that's pretty cool. And then we see a lot of legends of the game. Just to give you a sampling of the typical player field, we'll see Ernie Els, who is of course a legend, Fred Couples, we'll see Jim Furyk, past champions Jerry Kelly, Paul Broadhurst, Hall of Famers Vijay Singh, who is of course won in the former iteration and was our champion in 2023. I love our friends down at Rocket Mortgage, which is playing this week at the Rocket Classic, but I always joke that you'll know more names in our field than theirs, just with the fact that these guys are legends. They've been around a long time. They've got majors under their belt, titles, and just a great attitude, really engaging with the fans.
I'm sure they're having so much more fun too at this stage in their career. I don't know, it feels like it'd be a little looser, like
exactly right. Like
fun to watch.
The entourages have calmed down, the physios, the agents, all the people that keep you 5 layers from seeing the guys on the tour now. But and they really understand that community and the fan base and getting out there, that's what keeps these tournaments rolling and successful. And if we don't have the fans attending and they don't take a minute to engage and sign autographs and shake hands, I mean, that's the heartbeat of these kinds of events in our community. So they really do get it.
What is that fan experience like? Is it more approachable? Like, how do they engage? How does it happen?
Yeah. It's pretty organic. The Champions Tour is much more relaxed. The PGA Tour will have like autograph zones where you have to go to a designated area on the course to wait for autographs. The Champions Tour, you could see Jon Daly walking down the second hole and be on the rope line, and when he's, before he's teeing off, ask for an autograph. And they're that approachable. Certainly the fans can go right up to the practice green. You can't go on the practice green while they're putting and practicing, but we've got a nice barricade there, and they'll come right up to you, take pictures, take selfies. It's really very approachable, and if you want that interaction and you have great memories, there's that really nice touch points that are just organically made of that tournament.
That's very cool. And it's right up the road at Warwick Hills.
Yeah.
So we did hear something before we started taping that we have an issue with Clarkston community. Pay attention to this. Katie and I are putting you on notice because we just learned. You want to give the bad news?
I'll let Erin give the bad news.
It's going to be good.
It's not bad news. It's still a kudos for Clarkston, but we've always had really great support from Clarkston, and we still do. Clarkston Communities comes out, and to your point, it's 15 minutes up the road, up Dixie Highway. Don't mess with I-75.
Exactly.
Don't even bother right now.
Yep.
But Rochester, Clarkston's like top 5 for fan base, ticket buyers, and we measure that by your zip codes. When you buy your tickets on Ticketmaster, we can track zip codes and see where our fans are coming from. But Rochester edged out Clarkston last year, and I know we don't want...
It's not okay.
We don't want to see that happen this year.
I mean, I can understand Grand Blanc being number 1, seeing as how it's in their town. However, Clarkston should be number 2. I'm just saying, let's have some goals. Let's get some more ticket sales.
We know we got the golf community here. We've got such a strong golf community, families that have the ability to come up, and really it's extremely affordable. I mean, a Friday ticket's $30, Saturday is the $75 ticket because of course it has that big marquee concert. And then Sunday's ticket's $25. So it's incredibly approachable, especially with the free tickets for the kids. And Clarkston, it's time to show out. We need to regain our ranking
Come on,
there.
we can do it. And is there a 3-day ticket if someone's interested in all of them?
Yes, actually, there's a weekly ticket, which then also includes the practice round on Thursday, which on its own is $15. But the weekly ticket is $110. So for $110, you've got access. What's nice about that is each day is issued digitally, so you can pass them around or share them with friends. So for a weekly pass, it's a great value. And it really, there's music on Friday night, which I almost failed to mention that. Friday night is the band War. Are you familiar?
Okay.
Everybody's like, I don't know who
band?
War is. But when somebody starts singing Low Rider.
Oh, yeah.
That's War.
It's an older band. Yeah. Okay.
So Low Rider, Why Can't We Be Friends, Cisco Kids, Spill the Wine. People know a ton of their songs. They've been around for 5 decades. They're on their 50th anniversary tour right now.
Wow.
Okay.
Just incredible. They've been making music for so long. Their songs are still relevant. People know them.
Yes.
But I think they just lack a little bit of that name recognition.
Well,
but
because last year was it Smash Mouth?
Smash Mouth on
Yeah.
Friday.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wanted to
So-
say that because I remembered it. And
We were there for that one.
Yes.
What the ticket for Friday night? Let's say, are people able to just come to the concerts if they
So
wanted
the
to?
ticket includes both. So
Oh, it
I always
does.
say
Okay.
included, you get the golf, so you might as well come out and check out a few holes
Sure.
and be part of the fun.
Yeah.
Come to 17, grab a birdie beer. But your ticket is good for both. It always includes the golf and the concert. And then what's new this year, we started our ticket sales last month with a flat price, which nothing this year is not raised in prices, as we know when we go to the gas station or grocery store. But we came out kind of as a nod to our community and our loyal buyers who come back year over year. It's flat until August 1st. We know there's a lot of people who love to wait till that 10-day weather forecast comes out.
Right.
But the price will go up $10 a ticket on August 1st. So buy early, get your tickets now. Why they're low, we've got a whole nother month of flat ticket pricing, and get those tickets before they go up August 1st.
We didn't even ask when did it. Tell us the date.
Oh gosh,
we need
of
to know
course,
this.
yes.
Yeah.
August 21st through the 24th. So it's that final week of August before Labor Day. So we don't conflict with Labor Day weekend. I know it's right on the cusp of school starting. We like to call it summer's last finale or grand finale. Plan to stay home. Take your vacations the weeks before in August and make it a great weekend in our local community.
I love it. And where can we find more info about this
great question.
thing?
allychallenge.com is a great place to get information. Of course, our social handles are out there, Instagram and X. I want to call it Twitter. but it's X.
Good catch. Yeah.
X and Facebook as well. But our website's the best source of information. We'd love to have you out there. And we, of course, look forward to welcoming you guys back. And we'll be out in the Clarkston community in the coming weeks for sure.
You joined us last year before this, and it was on our live. And you were telling us, was it hole 17? What was the story of the hole?
Of the kegs in
Yes, can you tell that again?
Well, I'll just say, and I don't know this to be fact, so I'm really spreading the folklore.
Perfect.
But
We're here for it.
There certainly in the Buick Open days, there was a lot of partying, and Tiger won it 3 times, and it was massive crowds. But Jon Daly was always a big favorite, and he was known for partying with the fans after the play, and he still does that, and I'm sure we'll see him back in this year's field as well.
Nice.
But there is rumors that there are empty kegs buried in the fields under where the scaffolding and the bleachers and the stands and the suites were built on the 17th hole that were part of the party, the party spoils, if you will. So
A little history. Yes.
whether that's true or not, who knows? But I do know we've tried to keep that party going at 17. So a lot of the fun happens at 17, and we do a little amateur showdown, which Ann participated in last year.
It was
so that's
very
on
nerve-wracking.
Friday night.
Fun.
Yeah.
So so last year I entered that via the Chamber of Commerce tournament. You're doing that a little differently this year,
Yep.
right?
So this year, country clubs, and then this year, so golf clubs. So here in Clarkston, Oakhurst, it'll be represented, and then the Club Pro is going to compete alongside the Club Amateur for a little team score
fun. Okay.
and competition. So still amateurs hackers, the
Yeah.
best of us, right? Even the best of us, we're not getting paid to play.
Right.
But they'll be out there, and then the added fun element there is they're going to compete alongside their head pro. So this will be a good little showdown for our region. So everyone from Indianwood, Oakhurst, Flint Golf Club, Warwick, Spring Meadows, we're kind of all over the region to try to really capitalize on those golf enthusiasts.
That is fun, and that's sort of like bragging rights, I would think. Like,
Well, the guy
you know.
who won it last year, and he only had to hit closest, he walked away with $1,000 cash, but for closest to the pin. I think the hardest thing is just even hitting the green, as you'll experience.
Also, because there are people on either side, so if
crowds
you
all
don't
around.
hit it straight, you're gonna maybe knock an eyeball out. And I was like,
No pressure.
sweating bullets. I'm like, oh my god, just don't hit someone. And my dad was over. I'm like, don't hit your dad. Like,
Oh gosh, no, yeah.
it was so fun though. It's really cool.
little
event.
different when the grandstands are filled and
Yeah.
the suites are filled and you got a couple thousand eyeballs staring at you. A little different than your average par 3 shot.
A little different.
You did great.
You did do great.
We had
Totally.
fun. So much fun. I almost blacked out because it was like, oh my god, just do it.
The pressure.
The pressure. I was going to ask, we talked a little bit about the Chamber of Commerce golf outing because you said you're going to be there and you
Yeah.
might be giving away some fun freebies.
So we are. So the Ally Challenge, we kind of have a street team. It's actually a great internship for so many kids that are getting sport management degrees. That's what my degree is, but they need to get their feet wet and get their experience in the industry. So we hire a couple interns each summer, and they're kind of like our street team. So they're out there activating at festivals, parades, golf tournaments. So all the chambers that we are engaged in across kind of North Oakland and South Genesee County have a big golf outing, and so we send our street team out there. We will be at the Clarkston Chamber of Commerce golf outing, and our closest to the pin that day will take home a pair of suite tickets. And we'll have a nice boozy bundle thanks to our Spirits partners as well.
Love that. Well, we'll
I heard
be
you
there.
guys are going to be there as well.
We are.
Tell us about your whole, or is it a secret?
Do we
Well,
reveal?
So the theme of this year's golf outing is around the world. So most of the holes, they have to choose a country to represent. So obviously we went with Switzerland.
Obviously. All good things. Roger Federer,
I mean,
what are you going to do?
Amen.
You
That
know,
is enough
say no
said
more.
in my books. Yeah.
So we're planning to have an ice shot luge on our hole. So
I love it.
yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
And there's going to be like an alcoholic track and a non-alcoholic track.
That's
So,
fair.
you know.
Yep,
Yep.
represent both sides
Exactly.
of the business.
That's Switzerland. You got to do it all, make everybody happy. It's something for everybody. It's
gonna
Maybe
be fun.
Melt chocolate down it.
I love it.
Chocolate river.
I don't know.
I love it. Well, and Clarkston does so many great community events. I mean, we really are, we are fortunate to live in such a robust community. And
Yeah.
I think that trickles through to the surrounding neighborhoods and the people that live, but not only live here, but just come to play or dine or eat or shop in our community. And
So much.
I think the same goes for this tournament. While the tournament is hosted in Grand Blanc, I mean, it's got a leg in Oakland County and a leg in Genesee, and we really bring out a nice cross mix of our community.
Totally great. Well, and also all the good you guys are doing. So talk a little bit about where that charity money goes and how does that get decided?
Yeah.
How does that all happen?
We're actually just launching, so there's multiple ways that we give to charity, and all of it accumulates to that $1 million of giving. But the two most notable charity tracks are United Way of Genesee County aggregates the proceeds. So we, thanks to running a good tournament with great ticket sales, support from the community, sponsorships, and then running an efficient event, the bottom line proceeds go to United Way. And then they grant it out to anywhere from 14 to 24 beneficiaries in the area. And those are kind of steered by our title and presenting sponsor by Ally and McLaren. And then in addition to that, we have something called the Ally Charity Chip-In, which any nonprofit can participate in. So in Clarkston here, if there's a good nonprofit that wants to take advantage of it, the information is on our website. But that is a program where it's meant to be a cross-promotional opportunity and advertisement for the tournament, but a way to get that nonprofit's stakeholders engaged. And then we plus up the dollars with matching grant funds. So there's dollars at hand for any nonprofit to tap into. They just have to learn more about the program and see if it fits their model and their mix.
So people who are hoping to benefit from this, organizations, they would contact the United Way to apply for grants? Is that
Yeah, the United Way, if they're in Genesee County for
Okay.
grants, and if they're outside of Genesee County, they would go to the Chip-In page and learn more about the Ally Charity Chip-In
Okay.
if they wanted to get get a hold of some of those grant dollars.
And speaking of sponsors, I know you always say Ally Challenge presented by McLaren.
Yeah.
So I know it's a mouthful, but tell us about how those two go together.
Yeah, it's the sports business world is fascinating. I've been doing this 20 years now, but man, the title sponsor is really the fuel on the engine of a PGA Tour event. Not different from our friends, the Myers on the west side of the state, and the Dow LPGA is up north of us, and of course the Rocket Classic. That title sponsor for us is Ally Financial, which is a completely online banking financial entity, headquartered in Detroit, and they used to be GMAC Financial, of course, many moons ago. And then McLaren is the presenting sponsor, and McLaren Healthcare, of course, has all the hospitals, one right here in Clarkston, Bay City, Lansing, up to Petoskey, down. They own Carmano's Cancer Institute. A lot of people don't realize that. So their whole healthcare portfolio, their corporate headquarters are based in Grand Blanc. So it was a natural marriage for them to come on. They embrace this as a corporate entity. Their employees have opportunities to tap into some tickets. They help fuel our volunteer ranks. I mean, we need 700 plus volunteers to pull this event off.
Wow.
So anyone in the community can certainly tap into our volunteer opportunities. But McLaren is a major partner too that fuels the engine. And then in addition to that, we have about 120 business and corporate partners, major brands like Delta Airlines, Kroger's, just small brands and companies that have suites and stakeholders out there. Genesee Packaging that's sponsoring the Youth Golf Initiative. There's just so many in our community, which is just an example of how we all come together to fuel the greater good.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Well, and all of those things that you're mentioning, I mean, it is nice to hear some of the things that are right here in Clarkston, like McLaren, but I mean, our neighbors, we all work together and we all use each other's services, and you know, we like to recreate and do all the things all over the place. So it's really nice to be like co-mingling like we do.
Co-mingling,
But I do still want to say, Clarkston, show up. I still think there's a little competitiveness that we need to like tap into. We don't feel like a number 4 community.
No, this isn't a number 4 situation.
Yeah, no, this is not. We're gonna help this bump it up a bit. And one more time, where people can go buy tickets right this second.
Yep, allychallenge.com, very easy website. You can learn more. The ticket links are all online, but reach out anytime, and we appreciate your support and promoting and advocating for the tournament.
Of course. Well, we'll see you at the Chamber Golf outing. We'll be having some fun. Visit our Switzerland hole.
I think.
I don't know which track. We'll leave that off.
TBD.
I'll
leave it off the air.
Got to commit.
Exactly. And we'll see you at the LA Challenge for sure in August. Thanks for coming to visit us again.
Thanks for having me.
A fun repeat guest, Erin Stone.
This podcast is brought to you by Independence Television, located inside Clarkston High School. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Independence Television, Independence Township, or Clarkston Community Schools.